Good morning, good morning. Welcome to 4x8 Paper Stuff. This is Beth. We're on our last day of the insect insert before I do a couple flip throughs with voiceovers from the stories that go on the left-hand side of the book. I am adding some pieces of torn paper towel that our sweet little dog left on the floor this morning for me. And so I said, okay, they'll go in the journal. Nothing sacred around me. So here's a couple pages of flip through. I've got some of the stories done. I got a long ways to go to fill up the left hand sides, and it's been so much fun. So, did I read this to you yesterday? I don't remember. I don't think I did. Okay, the introduction. Piccadilly train. COVID-19 measures are starting to slow down my first excursion. I boarded the train at Piccadilly Station and headed out on today's adventure. The train was relatively empty. Hooray! As I was sitting down, a piece of paper, I did read this, caught my eye. A 6x6 square journal. Some person's journal left somebody. Some journaler left their treasure on the train. I have a typo. I peeked inside. Michael Palin. Wow. So then we had the Magadon King Green Blob. Did I read this one? If I have, just listen anyhow. While at the airport in Magadon, I'm reminded that the nearest town is 700 miles away. Perhaps I should get some snacks for the trip. So I can't read the labels, they're all in Russian, but seems like most of the items have pictures of the products on their labels. Chips, nuts, hard candy, all could be decent choices, but the last bag at the end of the shelf caught my eye. The wrapper had a green bug on it. Is this bag full of bugs? Well, who could turn that down? All right, and then we get into the panda lavender winged moth in Yangtze, China, on the river. In a tiny village along the Yangtze River lived a lavender farmer. The farmer sold lavender to perfume manufacturers all over Asia. In a tiny metal building, they removed the flower bits from the stems and leaves, plus started the breakdown of the flower. My guide told me that one day she was showing someone else the factory, and as the workers were breaking down the flowers, a huge scream came from the production floor. A bug, a panda lavender winged moth, had flown out of the flower and into her worker's hair. Get it out, but don't kill it. They bring good luck. All right, we have the Mekong Harbor Beetle. Hanoi is a construction boom zone and then some. I had tried to go out on my own and wander around, but I found myself in the way of scooters, construction supplies, and little ladies making noodles to sell. I finally found one lady sitting quietly on a corner selling noodles. The scent was so agreeable compared to the horrible smell of gasoline fumes. She smiled at me and nodded her head when I fumbled my way through a mime asking for a bowl of noodles. Never have I had such delicious and fresh noodles. I must have another. She picked up my bowl and started to ladle a spoonful in. But a huge beetle was in the spoon. She apologetically picked out the beetle and threw over her shoulder like you throw salt over your shoulder when you're a cook. So that's as far as I've gotten. Oh no, I have one more. I have two more. As I go through this bug. Indonesian stink bug. While the gamelan orchestra, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, is warming up under the mango and jackfruit trees, I sit and ponder the day. My first Ramadan, my first gamelan orchestra, my first stink bug. Around what would have been lunchtime, I was sitting and reading about our next bit of the trip. I'm particularly excited about New Zealand. While reading a map over the lower island in Dunedin, a huge stink bug crawled across my map. Wherever did you get that bright pink head? And the last one I have so far is the Olympic Unity Moth. Shibuya Station sees of people and only 860 days until the Winter Olympics in Nagano, Japan. This is what was in his book. Olympics have always been so exciting to me. The gathering of nations with sports as their common denominator was a genius idea from the Greeks. Nobody speaks the other languages, but they still communicate and make lifelong friendships. The sign in the train station has an Olympic Unity Moth on its symbol of those special friendships that will be made during that tiny sporting event. in parentheses, this page was made during the Tokyo Summer Olympics in 2021, should have been in 2020. So, that's how the stories will go, and I have about 15 more to go. So, I gotta get busy. Thanks for watching. See you all tomorrow. Bye.